Hey, how are you? Good Wednesday to you, 22nd day of April 2020. We are back at it. Wake up Wenatchee Valley, safely arriving over the airwaves. Thanks for starting your day with us here on the NCW Life Channel. We're going to get some rain. Oh boy, do we need it too. It's finally our long, abnormally dry weather will continue. The last 75, 80 days, we've had very little measurable precipitation. We are in a drought, but that's gonna, well, the drought's not gonna change. We need like 2.5 inches of rain to get back to where we're supposed to. We're not gonna get that much, but we'll take what we can get. Your wet weather forecast is coming up. Rain today, and then wind tomorrow. We got the weather is everywhere, and then we're gonna have sunshine on Friday, and then we go back to clouds and a little bit of rain on Saturday. Temperatures going up and down, kind of cool, then kind of warm, then kind of cool. It's 48 degrees right now with high overcast skies, as you can see. The rain should be coming in a sprinkle kind of a fashion about 8:30 or 9 this morning, and the heaviest rain will be later on this afternoon. Complete forecast details are coming up. We also have quite a bit of news to get to. It's been a newsy couple of months, all things considered, and we've been able to cobble together a newscast for you. We'll get to the latest headlines you need to know to start your Wednesday, coming up in a couple of minutes. Sports, too. Talking Seahawks, the draft is tomorrow. It's a virtual draft that I'll be gathering at John Schneider's home, the GM of the Seahawks. With I think I saw the interview on Q13. Schneider said he had 28 flat screen TVs installed in his house. They ripped out walls. I hope their internet connection is good, but the NFL draft is tomorrow. We'll preview that. We also have everything else that you're used to, the regular benchmarks for this program. And we're going to re-air the interview that I did last week with Erin Cass via Skype. She is spearheading the Aging Mastery Program. She's gotten together with our friends at Aging and Adult Care and the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. That's a cool interview with Erin. One of my favorite people. We'll have that for you. In the back half of the hour, 48 degrees, 3 minutes after the hour. Let's begin where we always begin, our tour around north central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley. As you can see, the clouds are here. No rain yet. It's coming. Most of eastern Washington is going to get rain today. As a matter of fact, it's raining as we speak in the Puget Sound area. That leading edge of precipitation is going to start moving in as the day progresses. We'll start getting some light rain this morning, and then later on this afternoon, it'll be coming down pretty good. Topped off at 69 on Tuesday. Our normal high would be 64, so it was warmer than normal. Overnight low yesterday was 48. Our normal low temperature is 42, so it was a milder than normal 21st day of April. But again, when you see the weather graphic coming up, you're going to go, that's almost like everything. Yeah, it is almost like everything. Sun this morning, sunrise was at 5:58. Sunset tonight, 8:01. 14 hours and 3 minutes of daylight. We're just not going to see a lot of sun as we take a look at the Wenatchee Valley via our cross camera. Camera number 2. It's a guessing game for me. I'm usually pretty good at this. Monitor camera, Megan? Hey! Da-da-da-da. Look at the orchards. They're hanging in there. They're just growing away. I believe in the upper left-hand corner that would be a cherry orchard. I'm not an orchardist, but I was born and raised here. You think I would know more about these things than I do. I'm assuming that that's a cherry orchard simply because the cherry trees are pretty much in full bloom. The rest of the trees, your apples and your peaches and your pears and your pumpkin pie trees. Boy, wouldn't that be great if pumpkin pies grew on trees? They'll be blooming later on, so we're looking at towards the Kashmir area and all places west of us as we say good morning to our friends in Monitor. And a friendly reminder, we are the #1 rated live local television show between 7 and 8 a.m. in the greater Monitor area. We're so proud of that. Camera 3. Hi to, okay, I'm gonna think here. That's either I'm gonna say Hose Landing. Hey, da-da-da-da. Good morning to Hose Landing. We had a report, by the way, earlier of a one-car blocking accident just south of the Knapp's Hill Tunnel. I don't know if that's been cleared out or not. I think it has. We see a little bit of green in the hills behind the greater Entiat area. Hose Landing. I've been up to Hose Landing on a Sky-Fi rig. That is one hairy drive. I have a tremendous amount of respect for our Sky-Fi tower crews. It's the payoff is you get great views like that. The difficult part is if it's physically demanding work, and some of the drives to get to some of these Sky-Fi towers are a little on the white knuckle side. Good morning to our friends in Entiat, the gateway to recreation. Camera number 4. It is. Is that Monument Hill? That's Badger Mountain. Okay, wow, good stuff. Well, it's easily confusable with Monument out in the Quincy area, but no, that's Badger Mountain, way up on top of the East Wenatchee Bench. By the way, the East Wenatchee Bench, you're going to get really windy tomorrow as this wind comes through on a Thursday. Quick heads up for that. It's going to kind of channel through the Lake of the Cascades. It's going to come barreling right through the Wenatchee Valley. We're looking at gusts tomorrow, by the way, of 35 to 40 miles an hour, and it's going to come right down and then shoot right up the East Wenatchee Bench. So get ready for some very gusty winds on Thursday for you wind-exposed areas, and certainly Badger Mountain is one of those. So that concludes our tour. And again, all of these cameras are on Sky-Fi towers, which means you can get screaming fast internet to your home or any place that you want internet, provided you can see any of our Sky-Fi towers. It's a possibility. Give local tele a call at 888-8888. Having screaming fast internet without having a fiber run to your house is it's a pretty cool deal. I don't understand the technology, but I'm just a TV personality. I don't understand a lot of things. Got a couple of slides to show for you. First of all, how much rain we're going to get. We're going to get more rain than most of the eastern Washington area. Again, it's already starting to work its way over the crest of the Cascades. It's a frontal wave. It's packing quite a bit of moisture, and we are finally going to get some rain. That leading edge will be visiting us here in about an hour and a half, and then it's going to come down pretty good. If predictions hold true, we could get maybe just a little bit of rain, but up to 1/4 of an inch of rain. And as I mentioned before, the more rain we get, the better off we are. And most of the rain is going to be coming down along the east slopes of the Cascades. So as you can see, the plain area, the Lake Wenatchee area, you're probably going to get a little bit more rain than us. Up north in the Mazama area and along the Medhow Valley, you're going to get at least 1/4 of an inch of rain, maybe 1/2 an inch of rain. Here in the Wenatchee Valley, 1/4 of an inch of rain would be the maximum amount we think we're going to get. And as it works its way to the east, that's pretty much the same thing. It's widespread rain. So get ready for some rain today. Yay. I love it. If you're going to be, stay home, stay safe, and ensconced in your house or your apartment or whatever it is you live, a little rainy day now and again. Never hurt anybody. So that's the rain that's coming today. And then tomorrow, ooh, sound effects. That's good. The gradient's going to tighten up big time overnight tonight, and we're looking at very windy conditions. Look at the arrows. That's the direction, and look at that big red blotch right over the Wenatchee Valley. That's the strongest winds. These are peak wind gusts, not sustained winds. This is going to be on Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening as the system slides through here. So we're looking at wind gusts in the Wenatchee Valley at 35 to 40 miles an hour. Ellensburg will be strong, even 40 to 45 miles an hour, windy out of the Columbia Basin. Luckily, with the higher humidity and the rainfall that's in the forecast for today, blowing dust and grass fire is really not much of a concern because they're finally going to get some moisture pretty much all over eastern Washington. But boy, batten down the hatches and get ready for some serious wind. The strongest wind will be on Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. Strong stuff indeed. 9 minutes after the hour, Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling gives your home a hug, and here we go. Look at that. We're everywhere today. Rain today. We'll be lucky to get to 59 degrees. It's 48 right now outside of our studios. Relative humidity, 61%. That's pretty humid. So we're looking at anywhere, as you saw in the graphic before, anywhere between 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch of rain is possible. They are predicting the heaviest rain today in the Wenatchee Valley, sometime between 11 a.m. to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll have light showers, kind of sprinkles before 11 a.m., and then sprinkles and light showers after 1 o'clock in the afternoon with that 2-hour window, maybe that 3-hour window roughly between 11 a.m., noon, 1 o'clock, maybe even at 2 o'clock. That's when we're expecting the heaviest rain today for the Wenatchee Valley. Chance of rain goes down to 30% tonight. We'll dip down to about 47 for the overnight low. No wind to speak of today and tonight, but that changes on Thursday. Lots of sunshine, high of about 66. It's going to start out breezy, then it's going to get downright windy. We'll start out with a northwest wind about 10 miles an hour. Then in the afternoon, it picks up to about 20 miles an hour, gusts above 30 miles an hour. And the strongest winds on Thursday start about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's really going to go for quite some time, right into the evening hours. Because Thursday night, we're still going to have wind. Northwest wind Thursday night, 20 to 25 miles an hour. 43 for the overnight low. So serious wind starting about 2 o'clock on Thursday afternoon, going all the way through the rest of Thursday into Thursday night, spilling over a little bit into Friday. Friday looks beautiful. Gobs of sunshine, high of about 72 degrees, and then here we go again. Next system comes through Friday night. We'll dip down to 46 for the overnight low. Can't rule out a raindrop. late Friday night. Saturday, some showers. So light rain is what we're going to call it on Saturday. Certainly lots of clouds, high of about 68 degrees, and we got about a 70% chance of light rain on Saturday, so we're not done with the rain yet. It's going to rain much less Saturday than we are expecting today, however, just a friendly reminder. Chance of rain goes down Saturday night. We'll get down to about 44 for the overnight low. We wrap up the weekend on Sunday with lots of clouds and a high near 68. It's really hard nowadays to tell what's just a weekday and what's a weekend. They all seem to be blending together. And we go back at it on Monday and Tuesday next week with a mixture of clouds and sun. Chance of rain. Highs will be in the upper 60s on Monday and lower 70s on Tuesday. So to recap, rain today, most of the heaviest rain coming down late in the morning through the early part of the afternoon. There'll be showers before that and showers after that, but pretty heavy rain, again, 11 o'clock, noon, 1, right around there. The maximum amount they're predicting is 1/4 inch of rain, which is fine. We'll take it, absolutely. And then we go to very windy conditions, especially Thursday afternoon and Thursday night. Got a lot going on. It's April. The weather is always active in April, but boy, do we need the rain. We're going to get it. Going to take a break at about 12 minutes after the hour and come back with your Wednesday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
My name is Lacey Haggerty, and I am a nurse midwife with Columbia Valley Community Health. I love all aspects of my job because it is a profession that's very committed to empowering women to make decisions in their health care that feel best for them. It's incredibly valuable to me as a midwife that I get to take care of women throughout their whole lifespan. I hope to see you at a future visit because I know you'll love having midwifery care.
Kelly's Ace Hardware is open and ready to help with all the essential items you need at this time. Curb service and limited delivery available as well. You can always count on Kelly's when the community calls. Mailboxes Chelan provides important services to our community and will continue to do so on new limited hours. Whatever your shipping and receiving needs, Jerry and Sherry are here to help from 9 to 3 weekdays. Green Dot Subs is open for takeout business. All those fabulous sandwiches that people drive miles to get are still available at both locations in Manson and Chelan. Call ahead and they will make one for you.
We're back at 13 minutes after the hour. High overcast, 48 degrees. We're due for some light sprinkles this morning. Pretty good dose of rain in the mid-morning to early afternoon hours. Then the rain tapers off, and then we go to very windy conditions, especially Thursday afternoon and Thursday night. And here are your headlines. 36 fruit workers employed by Stimmel Ag Services have tested positive for novel coronavirus. That's the virus, of course, that causes COVID-19. All of them were asymptomatic. That means that they did not show signs of being sick. Stimmel says the infected workers were among 71 people employed in a single work site in East Wenatchee. All were tested over the weekend in partnership with Confluence Health. All of them are now in isolation. It's the first wide-scale testing done here in the Valley on ag workers who did not have symptoms. The results push the total identified COVID-19 cases in Douglas County from 28 to 45. Stimmel says it's going to be monitoring the health of the infected workers. They're going to retest those who tested negative and continue to follow workplace guidelines to prevent the spread of the virus. A rollover accident yesterday morning on the Otobashian Bridge spared 3 cows, but the 2 occupants of the pickup truck that were towing the cows, they were injured slightly. Trooper John Bryant with the Washington State Patrol said the accident happened shortly after 9 a.m. yesterday morning.
A pickup pulling a trailer. Trailer had 3 cows in it that we know of. Lost control. Driver lost control. Went over to the right and rolled over and got hung up on the guardrail. You know, anytime you're pulling a trailer with livestock, and livestock, I don't know if the livestock was tethered in there or just kind of moving around. Your weight can shift, so you kind of got to watch those type of things. And if you're just have a regular, full-size pickup, you got to go a lot slower than the speed limit indicates. So that could possibly be a factor.
The accident did close one lane of traffic for quite some time. It was finally cleared by about noon on Tuesday. An East Wenatchee teen killed Monday morning in a one-vehicle rollover on Swakane Canyon Road. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office said 18-year-old Megan Dodge Well, apparently she was driving a 2016 Toyota Tacoma down Spokane Canyon, about 7.3 miles from Highway 97A, and that's when the vehicle left the roadway, rolled on its top. Dodge was partially ejected from the vehicle, and then the Toyota came to rest on top of her. Dodge was declared dead at the scene. A passenger, a 32-year-old unidentified woman from Des Moines, Washington, transported to Central Washington Hospital with minor injuries. The accident remains under investigation. Police say a 19-year-old driver followed and threatened two women in another car. This happened on Friday night. Gabriel Anguiano of Wenatchee faces possible charge of felony harassment. He allegedly followed the other car closely from the intersection of Kittitas and Okanagan all the way down to the Wenatchee Police Department at about 10 o'clock on Friday evening, driving a white SUV. Now, the woman said Anguiano's passenger in the car displayed a handgun during the incident. They described the driver as matching his description. He remained jailed today on a $10,000 bond after his arrest on Saturday. Police said, by the way, he refused to identify the passenger in his car. Police say a 20-year-old Malaga man admitted to sexually assaulting a woman a couple of weeks ago while she slept. Maverick Levi Menzel remained in the Chelan County Jail on Tuesday on a $20,000 bond after allegedly confessing to the April 11th assault to a Wenatchee police detective. The woman told police she was asleep after watching a movie with Menzel at her home when the assault occurred. In a Snapchat conversation with the victim later, Menzel admitted to the sexual contact, and she took the messages to the police department. He has not yet been charged, but detectives say they're seeking a count of second-degree rape. Authorities say they still have not been able to fully search the ruins of that Waterville structure fire. One person still unaccounted for. Kopi's Garage, the former auto dealership that stood for 120 years in downtown Waterville, burned to the ground on Thursday. Two people escaped from the blaze, but one person was thought to still be inside. Rescuers have no way to enter the fully engulfed building at the time, and since then, the severity of the fire and the damage to the structure has made it unsafe to enter and search. Douglas County Under Sheriff Tyler Calley said further search attempts will happen likely later on this week. By the way, the cause of the fire still remains unknown on this Wednesday. Another of our premier summer events here in North Central Washington canceled Monday. Organizers of the Winthrop Rhythm and Blues Festival said their event for July 17th, 18th, and 19th is not going to be held. In announcing the cancellation, organizers said the festival had survived wicked winds, wildfires in the past, but the COVID-19 pandemic has created a level of uncertainty that made the actual planning of the festival pretty much impossible. The festival is offering a full refund on tickets or the option of donating to a fund to support the musicians who are scheduled to play this year, or you can donate to the local food bank up in the Methow Valley. Aside from being Wenatchee Valley College's first fully virtual Earth Day, today's celebration of the planet also doubles as a book publishing story. The book is Dear America. It's an anthology of art, poetry, and essays, and Wenatchee Valley College instructor Derek Sheffield served as one of its editors. He talked to our very own Jefferson Robbins to talk about the project.
My part in the Earth Day celebration as not only as a partner in communicating with our community organizations and helping to coordinate the events on campus, I bring in the literary aspect, and in that respect, I'm able to combine the Earth Day celebration with my work as the coordinator of our Visiting Writers program. And the event is also a little bit of a celebration of Poetry Month. We've typically done that. April is Poetry Month. We celebrate Mother Earth. We celebrate the muse poetry. They're really natural bedfellows. And then the last aspect of this year's event is it is a book launch, which is officially being released on the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, which is quite appropriate because the book's primary focus is on issues of the environment and social justice. And Liz Bradfield is one of our contributors in this collection. We typically have an Earth Day poetry contest, and this was an idea actually that came from the students years ago as I was working with them on planning the literary aspect of the Earth Day celebration. And so the last month, students have been sending in entries to of poems that are that have to do with the earth somehow. Our visiting poet, Liz Bradfield, will be reading the student poems and selecting 2 winners of the Earth Day Poetry contest. And we are going to invite those students to join us in the celebration. Typically, last year we had them join us in the Grove Recital Hall for the Earth Day celebration. But this year, of course, we'll invite them in right here into our Zoom room. And so that will also be an aspect of Wednesday's program.
I hope that we get many people to join the meeting. Zoom is actually very easy to use. So please don't feel intimidated if you haven't been on a Zoom call before. You don't have to have your video on. In fact, we probably can't with that many people. Earth Day was started as a national teach-in, actually, on the environment in 1970. Students at that time were the ones that were leading the charge. And I would have to say that students continue to lead the charge on these environmental issues, really trying to say, hey, we want a clean, healthy future, and we really need some action to be taken on the climate.
Yeah, happy Earth Day. Finally, this morning, something to make you feel pretty good. A resident of Avamere in Wenatchee received a special present for her 93rd birthday recently. Her extended family dropped by for a party, social distance style.
To you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Pam, happy birthday to you.
So, what are you, 29 and holding?
Yes, I like your
All
numbers.
Happy birthday, Elizabeth. And that's what's making headlines on this Wednesday morning, the 22nd day of April. It's amazing how much we can accomplish even though we're not all together in one room. Normally our newsroom is a beehive of activity and a lot of lame jokes by me, but we're still cobbling it together. Eric's working at home and a bunch of folks are working at home. Other folks are working here. We're staggering our shifts, so we're trying to avoid getting too close physically together, and yet we're still able to put together a newscast because we got some good people here. With a preview of the Wednesday night newscast, here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, police say a 20-year-old Malaga man admitted to sexually assaulting a woman 2 weeks ago while she slept. Another of North Central Washington's premier summer events was canceled Monday because of COVID-19. We'll tell you about that. I'll have also your wet North Central Washington weather forecast, and Eric Granstrom will have a look at sports. That and more coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. I watch the news. You should too. And don't forget, you can watch it on demand if you don't want to lock yourself into having to watch the news on television, or as we like to say in the business, TV. You don't have to watch it at 5, 6, or 10. You can watch it whenever you want. Once the news is up and running, we have it posted just about 5 o'clock. Right on our homepage at ncwlife.com, so you can watch it on your smart device and whenever you feel like watching the news. And our news is archived. In fact, all of our locally produced shows are archived, so you can go back to our website and check out a classic episode of this show, provided we do one. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see all the different ways you can contact us. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com, news@ncwlife.com. You can go to our Facebook page and use Messenger to drop us a line, or you can go right to our website, ncwlife.com, and click on the Contact Us icon, and we'll get it here. Going to take a break. Going to come back with sports. We're going to talk Seahawks, talking Mariner history, maybe a little bit of fishing. It's whatever sports we can put together for you. Is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, I'm Dr. Pete Rutherford from Confluence Health. I urge all of you to stay home, stay healthy, and stay safe. You can provide a valuable service to all our region's healthcare professionals, our hospitals, our clinics, nursing homes, assisted living facilities, and adult family homes by donating cloth face masks and gowns to our efforts. If you are able to sew some masks or a gown, there are instructions online at the Chelan Douglas Health District. You can contact the Health District or the Confluence Foundation, and they will arrange to collect them and distribute them to where they are needed. We are fortunate that this is a community that cares about all of us. We will get through this coronavirus together by helping each other. Thank you and be well.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
We are back at 27 minutes after the hour. Sports. Seahawks continue with a bunch of signings, of course, leading up to the first round of the NFL draft, which is tomorrow. Seattle officially re-signed veteran free agents Luke Wilson and Mike Uopati. They also signed Brendan Jackson to his restricted free agent tender. Seattle also announced that offensive lineman Jordan Ruse has signed his exclusive rights free agent tender. Love that hair. Additionally, tight end Jacob Hollister signed his restricted free agent tender. He's going to remain a Seahawk. Hollister became a go-to target for Russell Wilson down the stretch last year, if you remember correctly. He became the team's third leading receiver. He had 41 catches, 349 yards, 3 touchdowns. Good to have him back in the fold. Seattle also added more depth at defensive back. They claimed Lyndon Stevens off the waiver wire from Miami. Stevens was on the Seahawks practice squad for much of last year. Then the Dolphins snagged him away, and now we snagged him right back. Seattle has 7 draft picks in the NFL draft, which begins tomorrow. Once the draft ends on Saturday afternoon, you can go out and then sign all the undrafted free agents that you want to sign. Each team has allowed a maximum of, I don't know, a bunch of players on their off-season roster. It's when they play that they got to make the cuts. The lack of Major League Baseball has fans like me going a little batty. I'm not the sanest guy in the world anyway. Major League Baseball is doing what it can to make you feel better by showing classic games of the past. Of course, yesterday they aired Felix Hernandez's perfect game from August of 2012. So it's only fitting that we recognize another important milestone in Mariner history from 27 years ago today.
And Lou Piniella working on a huge chaw of chewing gum himself, using those mandibles up and down in the Mariner dugout. Hands clasped together. 1 ball and 1 strike on Riles. The 1-1 pitch by the Buzz is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Of course, the fans wanting anything near the plate to be called a strike by Vic Voltaggio. Now, that was not. Bosio, his 2-1 pitch on the way. Swung on, high jumper with a mound. Charged by Vizquel. Bare edge throws. It's over. And Bosio has done it. My, oh my. What a performance by Chris Bosio. The second no-hitter in Mariner history. And he is being mobbed by his teammates out behind the mound. Great defense, great pitching, and these fans indeed have had a chair on baseball history here at the Kingdome tonight to see one of the more brilliant performances in history as Bosio faces only 1 over the minimum and no hits. The Boston Red Sox beats them by a score of 7-0. You will never see a better pitch game. Congratulations to Chris Bosio being embraced by all of his teammates, and he did it in only 95 pitches. Indeed, my, oh my.
Yeah, Bosio was the second pitcher in Mariner history to pitch a no-hitter. In fact, he walked the first 2 Boston Red Sox at the top of the first inning. Then he set down 27 Red Sox in a row. Of course, the first one was back in June of 1990 when Randy Johnson threw a no-hitter against Detroit. By the way, Chris Bosio threw that no-hitter 27 years ago today on just 3 days rest. Dave Graybill, my good friend, known locally as the fishing magician around here. He's also on the Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife Commission. He said the department is working hard on reopening fishing and hunting. Now, this Saturday would normally be the Lowland Lake opener in Washington. That's the most utilized outdoor recreational offering by Fish and Wildlife. Graybill said they won't get anything open by this weekend and that they're shooting for that May 4th date originally set by the governor. Now, a protest was held last Saturday in the Tri-Cities. Hundreds of boaters on the water and folks lining the shoreline of the Columbia River demanding that fishing be reopened. A similar protest, we understand, is scheduled for the Wenatchee Valley right here on the Columbia River this Saturday at 9 a.m. Boats will gather on the river beneath the Senator George Seller Bridge. Protesters on dry ground will be in and around Mission Street Park. You can find out more about Saturday's planned protest by searching Facebook. Go to Wenatchee Let Us Fish. Pretty easy to find. So fishing is still closed in our state, but the Department of Fish and Wildlife is still managing fish. Somebody has to. The department put out a video this week on its social media platforms, which included work in north central Washington to help Lahontan cutthroat trout.
Right there's 10 females and 10 males, so that's at a fecundity of 3,000 per female. And we're looking at 30,000 eggs in that little container, which is half of what this lake needs just about. So it's kind of like gold. You can't come by them on your own. We've got about a 2-week window where we can come in and spawn, so that's why we're here. We'd like to be at home without these masks on, but we also don't want to see a whole year class leave us.
Right.
We want to be able to come out the other end of this whole COVID-19 thing with our resource still intact. So the process of doing this is mostly out of Omak hatchery with Kane and Martin. We're out of the Sherman Creek hatchery and Spokane hatcheries that came down to help. And we're also have our vet here today, Megan, doing fish health and virology sampling. It's one of the things we do every year to guarantee the health of the fish. And as you can see, these are beautiful, probably 4-year-old spawners.
Very ripe females.
Yep. So when I say Lahontan cutthroat, so they survive on a very high alkaline situation, and that's like Lake Lenoir. So in a lake like Lenoir, if we didn't have this ability to use a stock like this, we wouldn't be able to stock fish in it that would survive. So it's really kind of a unique application that provides a recreational opportunity in lakes that otherwise would just wouldn't produce fish.
Right, because rainbow trout will not survive in here. Just none of the other trout we raise would survive in here, so it's nice we have these fish.
And it comes in at a certain time of the year where the fish aren't going to wait. If we could put this off for a month or a few weeks, we would, but then we'd completely miss a year class in Lake Lenoir and the other lakes that are stocked with the Lahontan cutthroat.
Yeah, Lahontan cutthroat, you can find them in Lake Lenoir, Lake Grimes, Omak Lakes, Lake Albright, out in the Sprague area. It's pretty fascinating stuff. And those are just some of the games that people are playing or not playing. On this Wednesday at 34 minutes after the hour, I had 3 obscure holidays to choose from. It's Earth Day. It's not an obscure holiday. We'll get to that when we get to Day in History because it is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. It's National Girl Scout Leaders Day today. Nothing wrong with that. I'm all for that. But no, we're going with National Jelly Bean Day. I love my jelly. Do you know anybody who doesn't like jelly beans? And by the way, who sells Jelly Bellies now in town? I used to get them at Chopco because they had the big dispenser and you can get the different kinds that you wanted in the bag. I need help on that one. So Fred Meyer has them. I haven't been inside Fred Meyer in like 2 months. I did not know that. I'm a huge fan of Jelly Belly jelly beans. Jelly beans are just good. How do you celebrate National Jelly Bean Day? You eat them. Yeah, pop them right on down the old gob hole. Don't much care for the black jelly beans. My dad loved them. I never much cared for them. If you just leave a jar of jelly beans sitting out opened, it's amazing what happens. They kind of just slowly disappear. And of course, one of the great fundraisers for a lot of nonprofits out there is to guess how many jelly beans are in the jar. They have the ginormous jar, you know, and for like $1, you get to write down a number, and then the winner gets like all the jelly beans and like half the money and the other half goes to charity. They still do that? The guess how many jelly beans are in the jar contest? Probably not a good time to do that, but I'll be heading to Fred Meyer for some Jelly Belly jelly beans. Thank you very much for that tip. All right, and brush your teeth after that because jelly beans are full of sugar. 36 minutes after the hour. Today in history, it's the anniversary of the Great Land Rush of 1889. Oh, by the way, Charity tells me you can get them at Costco. I try not to go to Costco on Saturday mornings. April 22nd, 1889, at 12 noon, thousands and thousands of people rushed to claim their land in the Great Land Rush of 1889. Within just a couple of hours, the city of Oklahoma City was founded. Guthrie, Oklahoma was founded, and they had 10,000 people living in the town by nightfall, and the town didn't even exist at noon. About 50,000 people lined up for their spot. About 2 million acres was simply given away. All you had to do was farm it, work the land, and you got to keep it. Of course, those people who snuck over the night before on April 21st were known as Sooners. The Oklahoma Land Rush took place on this date 131 years ago today. I mentioned this a couple of times. Today is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. The very first Earth Day was celebrated 50 years ago today. April 22nd, 1970 is now observed in 192 countries. The nonprofit Earth Day Network puts together the Earth Day celebrations. Earth Day today, unfortunately, for the 50th anniversary, will be celebrated virtually, as you saw during our newscast at the college. Finally, this morning, we mentioned this yesterday, on April 21st of 1977, the New York Yankees manager Billy Martin wrote the starting lineup down, the batting order, in a hat, and they just pulled it out of a hat because the Yankees were slumping and losing and in last place in the American League East, and it worked. So the next day they did it again. Yeah, after they snapped their 5-game losing streak by literally using a lineup that was drawn out of a hat, manager Billy Martin did it again, and it worked again. As the Yankees beat the Blue Jays 8-6, they just randomly pulled the lineup out of a hat, the batting order. It worked. Anyway, that's today in history at 38 minutes after the hour. Birthdays. They did a poll at the end of 1999, and the question was for historians and journalists and people who were in the know. They said, who was the most significant and influential figure of the 20th century? And the person who came out on top was Vladimir Lenin, who was born on this date in 1870. Of course, he basically founded the Soviet Union, which hung around for about 75 years or so. Vladimir Lenin died in 1924 at the age of 53. Affected the lives of millions and millions and millions of people. And yeah, he was considered by experts the most significant and influential figure of the 20th century. Born in the state in 1870. Charles Mingus, the bassist. Oh, love his music. If you're a jazz aficionado, as I am, I'm a music aficionado, period. I'm into jazz like I am. There are 2 records that you've got to have in your collection. Mingus Ah Hum came out in the late 1950s, and New Tijuana Moods, which came out on, I believe, Bluebird Records in the 60s. Charles Mingus, the greatest bassist in jazz history, born in the state in 1922, died at the age of 56. Like most jazz giants, they don't live very long. Charles Mingus, born in the state 98 years ago today. Glenn Campbell, we miss him. Great guitar player, was a member of the Wrecking Crew. Born in the state in 1936, grew up in abject poverty in the Deep South, but learned how to play a guitar and became one of the great American success stories, the 7th son of a 7th son. And he placed 80 different songs on the Billboard charts, be it the country chart, the Hot 100, or the adult contemporary chart. We lost Glenn Campbell to Alzheimer's disease 3 years ago at the age of 81, but the music lives on. Jack Nicholson is 83 years old today. Jack's retired now. He's completely retired. He says he's not going to work anymore. He has 12 Academy Award nominations. That makes him the most nominated actor of all time. Meryl Streep is the most nominated actress of all time. She's had like 20 of them. And of course, he won the Academy Award for Best Actor twice, a very rare achievement, for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in 1975 and for As Good as It Gets in 1997, and the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in Terms of Endearment. The great legendary Jack Nicholson, 83 years old today. And happy birthday to Beast Mode, Marshawn Lynch. There he is. He's 34 years old today. He's back to being a free agent, of course. He was a legendary Seahawk. We loved him as a Seahawk. Retired, unretired, signed with the Raiders, retired again, unretired, came back and played a few games with the Seahawks at the end of last year. He's now an unrestricted free agent, whether he's going to stay with the Hawks or so. We don't know. He's 34 years old, but of course he's a beast mode. The way he runs the football, his body has gotten beat up pretty good in the world of the National Football League. I don't know if he's done playing football, but he'll always be a favorite among the Seahawks aficionados. Happy 34th birthday to Marshawn Lynch. He'll hold a news conference later on today. Gonna take a break, and when we come back, we got an opinion from Mike Magnotti, and then I had a chance last week to visit with Aaron Cass, who is spearheading the Aging, what's it called again? I don't want to get this wrong. The Aging Mastery Program, in conjunction with the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center and Aging and Adult Care. My conversation with Aaron via Skype comes up as well. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Badger Mountain Brewing is proud to announce the grand opening of our new kitchen. Come try out our new menu featuring fabulous steaks, prime rib, gourmet burgers, and seafood grilled up by experienced meat master Chef Galen Goodman. To complement your mouth-watering meal, Badger Mountain Brewing features 14 in-house crafted beers, an alcohol-free root beer infused with 11 different herbs and spices, 3 different ciders, and a great wine selection. Don't miss out on the best meats and the best brews down at Badger Mountain Brewing, located at 1 Orondo Avenue across the tracks from the Pybus Market.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around North Central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
I have a hereditary bone disease from the female side of my family. My bone loss was so significant that you could almost see the roots. I became embarrassed and I started covering my mouth. Eating became very difficult as far as I stopped eating apples, corn on the cob, things that you just eat as it is without utensils. Dr. Divis was my dentist prior to having implants. We talked about traditional dentures or implants, and implants was the only way really that I could go. John Divis and all of his office staff, they checked on me throughout all the processes. I would never go anyplace else. Today I can eat corn on the cob, I can have apples. Thanks to Dr. John Divis and his staff, I have my smile back. I feel more confident. I am me again.
This is John Divis. Let our team help you solve your dental needs.
Pybus Public Market restaurants are open for takeout, and our fresh produce, meats, and seafood shops open for pickup. Go to www.pybusmarket.org, click on the red Pybus Market and COVID-19 button to view hours, menus, and place orders online. We are grateful for your continued support of the Pybus Public Market, restaurants, and merchants. Mike's Meats and Seafood, Royal Produce, Little Red's Bakery and Espresso, Fire and Ice, and Pybus Bistro.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. I've been reading a book by Roman Catholic theologian Richard Rohr. Now, I have to say, I do think a lot of Rohr's questions and the theological dilemmas he faces would be clear to him if he was married, had a wife, and had kids. Okay, now no disrespect to the Roman Catholic Church, but both of the mysteries and meaning of life and questions and stuff like that they might have been made clear to me simply because I'm married and I have a family. Now, learning to live and get along with someone else, particularly as someone who is as different and wonderful as Rosie is for me, has caused me to grow and change in ways I otherwise never would have. That's pretty simple, actually. If the Roman Catholic Church would just let their priests get married and have kids, they'd understand our life a whole lot better. I mean, just like you and me. Well, that is, if you're not a Catholic priest anyway. Well, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Hi, Justin here, owner of Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Looking for a fun night out? Join us at Club Crow. We have live bands to rock the night away, comedy to make you laugh, and if that's not enough, we have poker every Monday and Wednesday night. Club Crow in Cashmere has it all. Check out our Facebook event page for dates and times. Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Is search engine optimization right for my business? Maybe. Studies show the first and second search results get 50% of all the clicks. But you have to fight national chains to get there. If the user has to scroll down to find you, tough luck. You could hide a dead body on page 2 and the whole zombie apocalypse on page 3. Or you could spend less and get an ad in the Impact Big Print phone book, giving local businesses a chance to shine.
Impact Directories. Bigger print, better book.
Save Mart remains open to serve our community with its huge selection of furniture, mattresses, and appliances. Parts and Service Department is ready to make sure you have what you need to keep your household functioning during these unusual times. Wenatchee Power Sports is keeping its Parts and Service Departments open to serve the greater community. Agriculture and others depend on these machines to continue to produce and transport the goods and services we need. If you have a pest problem, Harvest Valley Pest Control will remain available to take care of your needs. Call 797-0090 and let us know how we can make your home pest-free.
Wenatchee Valley, obviously, we've been practicing safe social distancing here, and that includes safe TV. No more interviews in our studios, but the interviews continue after a brief hiatus. My guest today is no stranger to the program. Aaron Cass has been with us in any number of roles. Aaron has a new gig going on, and just a little background on this. I want to let you know how this whole thing came together. Dave Tosh, from the executive director of the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, reached out to me late last week. He said Aaron is working on this deal with our senior center. It's called the Aging Mastery Program, and since she is much better looking than I am, there's no question on who should be in your program. Now, to make things perfectly fair, Dave is for his advanced age, Dave Tosh is a very attractive guy, but I think he's right. So, hi, Aaron. How are you?
Good morning. How are you, Dan?
I'm doing well. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of the Aging Mastery Program, how are you and Shane and the kids working out with this whole social distancing quarantine thing?
Well, we're finding our groove. It's helpful when the kids can do online, Google Classrooms and Google Chat. That's been immensely helpful. And the teachers in the school district, they've been amazing. So we're doing okay. We take a lot of hikes and walks with the dogs. And I'm able to still communicate with people within my client base. So, and Shane's doing well. He's selling lots of apples right now.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. Last time, well, of course, you and I have a long history back in your days with Wellness Place. You've moved on. You have a new business, and
Yes.
That business is kind of dovetailed into the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. Give me what the Aging Mastery Program is essentially all about, the nuts and bolts, Aaron.
Well, it's an evidence-based program by the National Council on Aging. So that in itself brings a ton of credibility. It's a well-thought-out program, and what it is, it's through the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, they had a federal grant to bring this program to our valley, which is amazing. So Daryl Dickinson and I put on the very first Aging Mastery Program it seems forever ago, in February, where we had it at Springwater Insurance, so thank you, Jim Heinlein. And we had 20 people enrolled in this, and what we did, it's curriculum-based, but we brought in expert speakers in our community. We knew much better than to tout and speak for ourselves about topics such as financial planning, advanced directives, there's sleep. We talked about pharmaceuticals and exercising drinking water, all these different topics that encompass aging well. So we brought in area speakers, expert speakers who talked to a group of 20 We had homework assignments. And so that's, in a nutshell, what Aging Mastery Program is. So it was wildly successful. We had a wait list after 2 days. So I'm sensing that we should have another one after things lift and we are able to socialize and be together again.
What's been the feedback from your clients, the people who have participated in the program so far across the board with everything that you talked about? Do they get it? Do they like it?
Yes, we did an evaluation after the 20 or the 10 sessions we had together, and everyone loved it. We had a 90% graduation rate, which indicates to us that people enjoyed the classes. The speakers were phenomenal. I can go on and on about who joined us, but we're going to have another one. They're free, and they come with a curriculum and a core curriculum and an exercise video and all these other things that you can take home with you and work on it in the privacy of your own home or share with others. So yes, we'll do it again. We're going to do 2 more live sessions before November of 2021. So I will make sure that you know about it.
Yeah, please do. Please do. You mentioned exercise. This is one of the things that you've been involved in, keeping people as they age healthy, keeping their balance, not falling down, and stuff like that. So my guess is for you that was pretty easy, but maybe some of the other more intricate details of the program, like finances and stuff like that, that was probably a bit of a challenge for you, Aaron, personally, I'm guessing here.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that I could certainly bring the expert speakers to the forefront to talk about it. People were very engaged. They had tons of questions because it is applicable to their own lives. And you know, it's healthy to talk about things such as falling, such as financial fitness. These things are often not talked about, and I think it's really reassuring being in a group of other people that are going through the same thing. And what we found are people were very forthcoming with questions and were very vulnerable, and I think that's very healthy. The group became close, they were gelled, and I'm sure that they're missing each other right now, but I have I can only imagine that they'll continue to be friends and maybe exercise together in the future, have coffee talks.
Yeah, and hey, having a larger social group is always good for you.
Yep.
Always.
Yep.
Yeah. So there are people out there who probably are hearing about this for the first time. They say, I'm in. What do I do? Once we get past this whole COVID-19 thing and life can resume to normal, so to speak, what do they do? How do they get involved?
I would recommend calling Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, connect with Dave Tosh, the director, and he'll put you in touch, or you can connect to me directly. My intention is to have a part-time office space at the Senior Activity Center when things move along. It'll be on the side suite C. You know the center very well. And people can always contact me. I'm looking to schedule another one for summer. It will likely be at the Senior Activity Center, which they're very generous in opening up room space for us. So,
we mentioned finances. I would be remiss, Aaron, if I didn't ask you, what does it cost?
Oh, well, it's free right now, and yeah, you can't beat that. It's a federal grant for the National Council on Aging. So with that, our goal is to get it out to so many people. And we also have an Aging Mastery Starter Kit too, so we can maybe talk a bit more about that.
A starter kit. What is that?
Well, since you asked, the starter kit is a self-paced kit designed to encourage older adults to take small steps to improve their health and quality of life. And so what that is, it's really a playbook, it's a DVD, activity cards, and a weekly check-in notepad. It's worth $30. And so we get these through the National Council on Aging. So my goal, as a representative of the Senior Activity Center, is to get these starter kits in the hands of people who need it most. Obviously, we have some time on our hands. A few people are isolated. And these starter kits are really a great way that you can share with someone in your household or work on by yourself. It covers all the different topics like mindfulness, health and well-being, finances and future planning, learning and creativity, connections and community, legacy and purpose. And you don't need a computer to work through the starter kit materials. So I think it's a great deal, and I'd be happy to get this to your listeners and your viewers for free.
Okay, how do we go about doing that, Aaron?
You can contact me. My phone number is 509-393-9113, or my email is sailwithmeec@gmail.com. Say that again, sailwithmeec@gmail.com. And I will get this kit to you. I have a bunch coming to my home. I'm happy to safely deliver it to you, or I can walk you through the steps of signing up online, and it will be mailed directly to your home.
Oh, good, good. Aaron, it looks like the self-quarantine hasn't changed you much. You're still a ray of sunshine, so.
I enjoy what I do. I work closely with Department of Health to deliver evidence-based programs like SAIL, Stay Active and Independent for Life, and another program called A Matter of Balance, which I'm looking to, continue working on as things move along. But, we're in a bit of a holding pattern right now, as we all are. But I look forward to bringing all these programs to you and to this community, which I care so much about.
And for my viewers out there, if you missed that information that Erin gave you at the end of it, her cell phone and her email address, we'll make sure we get that to any of our viewers. You can get a hold of me directly, and we'll get the word out. Erin, it's always great to see you. Say hi to Shane, to the kids for me.
And my dog.
And the dog, yes. And hopefully we'll get to see you in person soon, okay?
I hope so, Dan. Thank you. I called you Dave.
Yeah, you can call me Dave. You can call me Dave if you want. And Dave has to call me Dan that way. Erin, take care. It's good to talk to you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
The world around us is constantly changing. Major employers in North Central Washington have expressed a need for capable, qualified engineering technologists who can think critically and solve problems. And at Wenatchee Valley College, we listened. We are pleased to offer a Bachelor of Applied Science Engineering Technology degree to provide you with a world of new opportunities. Your time is now. The future is waiting for you.
People are starting to talk about reopening, and it is these local businesses with boots on the ground and personal guarantees on their loans and leases that are out there working diligently right now to welcome us all back and to keep us all safe. So as that opportunity grows to participate and congregate, remember your friends and neighbors that are the operators of those local businesses. And let's see if we can't turn this struggle into a strength for this entire local business community.
And we are back here from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee on this Wednesday. There's a change in the weather, and it's starting today. Let's take a look at a couple of slides sent down the line to us from the National Weather Service. The rain is going to return today. In fact, we get a pretty good dose of rain, anywhere up to 1/4 inch of rain for the Wenatchee Valley. That's a lot of rain. Probably not going to get there, but it's within the realm of possibility. Along the east slopes of the Cascades is where the heaviest rain is going to fall today. As you can see up in Mazama, they could get up to 1/2 inch of rain, as does the plain area. It's a possibility. Not that much here in the Wenatchee Valley, but we need the rain, and it's going to come later on today. And then that's going to be followed up tomorrow with some significant wind. Big-time wind coming our way with strong gusts, especially on Thursday afternoon, spilling into Thursday evening here in the Wenatchee Valley. As you can see, gusts, these are peak wind gusts for Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening, anywhere from 35 to 40 miles an hour, especially as you can see in that red area up on the East Wenatchee Bench as it spills over towards Grant County and Ellensburg, even windier still. So get ready for at least windy conditions, and those peak wind gusts near 40 is a distinct possibility on Thursday. So let's go ahead and take a look at it in depth, your forecast for the day today. Now, as far as the rain is concerned, the heaviest rain they're expecting to come down between about 11 o'clock this morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we'll have light showers before 11, and then a pretty good dose of rain for about 2.5, maybe even 3 hours this afternoon, late this morning into the afternoon anyway. Then it kind of peters out. A high today of about 59 degrees. Slight chance of rain tonight, 47 for the overnight low. The big story tomorrow as we talk about the wind, especially in the afternoon. The strongest winds will get going about 2 o'clock. It'll go all the way through the rest of Thursday, right on in to Thursday night. As you can see, sustained winds could be picking up to 20 miles an hour. Gusts above 30 at times. Late Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening, a high of 66 degrees. Friday looks beautiful. Sunshine in 72, and then right back to a mixed bag Saturday and Sunday. And that's it for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Have a good Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.